Okay, I'm Bernie Wrightson. I'm at Wonderfest here in lovely Louisville, Kentucky, with my good friend, Dr. Gangrene from Chiller Cinema. Chiller.
Greetings, Fright fans. This is Dr. Gangrene. We're here on location tonight at Wonderfest in Louisville, Kentucky. We decided to take a little road trip to check out all the fantastic features here this weekend. Now, you've got a lot of fun stuff in store for you. We're going to grab some interviews with some celebrities. We're going to show you all kinds of neat science fiction and horror memorabilia, so come along with me. If you dare, you'll have a good time. All right, Fright fans, I grabbed our first celebrity star interview of the evening. This is going to be really great. We're going to interview the creature from the Black Lagoon. No, wait, that's not right. That's not right. We're not going to interview the creature from the Black Lagoon. Instead, we are interviewing a fantastic artist, Terry Beatty. Terry, how are you doing?
Doing great, Doc. Glad to be here.
Great to meet you. So tell my viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm Terry Beatty. I'm a cartoonist for DC Comics' Batman Gotham Adventures, and I also paint the covers for Scary Monsters magazine.
Wow, Scary Monsters magazine. Now, that is one of our favorite magazines here, and we were just talking about a magazine that you had done, issue number...
It's number 36.
That's right, and you had an incredibly handsome fellow on the front cover.
You must mean Zachary.
The other incredibly handsome guy, the one with the scars on his face, that would be Dr. Gangrene, right?
Gangrene, yeah. It was fun to draw, fun to paint.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, that came as a real surprise to us when we were on the cover, and it's great to meet the guy who did such a good likeness of us.
Hey, I just do what I get paid to do.
And it is a scary work. No, so how long have you been doing your art career? How long has it been going?
About 25 years at this point, although I've been involved with Scary Monsters magazine for about, I think, 8 years of its 10 years of existence.
Wow, that's great. And do you remember what your first printed piece of art was?
No, I've tried to forget my first printed piece of artwork. I'm much more interested in my most recent ones.
Well, and tell me a little bit about some of you said some of your current projects. What's the most recent thing you're doing right this minute?
Well, I can show folks.
All right.
Batman Gotham Adventures for DC Comics.
Fantastic. All right, well, that's something for you Fright fans to look for, and we're going to move around and see who else we can find. Mr. Beatty, I appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us here on Chiller Cinema.
Thank you, sir. I got this little paint I can talk to you about later. All right?
Okay, yeah, I do make house calls. And by the way, if you're ever in the Nashville, Tennessee area, give me a call, and you're welcome to stop by the lab for an interview.
Will do.
All right. Welcome, Fright fans. Gangrene back here. I have pulled aside artist extraordinaire Bernie Wrightson. How you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing fine, Doctor. Thank you.
Well, Bernie has been the most incredible artist for a number of years. Tell my viewers a little bit about how you got started, if you would.
I got started very young, 7, 8 years old. Been drawing all my life. I love monsters. Grew up watching the old Universal horror films on TV in Baltimore with Dr. Lucifer. Yeah.
We had
a good friend of yours, I think.
Well, we had a Dr. Lucifer in the Nashville area. It was a different Dr. Lucifer from the one that you grew up with, but yeah. So besides being a big fan of horror hosts, Bernie is known as the master of the macabre, and I'll tell you why. We're going to show a little bit of his artwork with Bernie's permission on our show, and you guys will see. Tell him a little bit about your comic book career.
Well, my comic book career has been long and varied. Started doing mystery comics for DC Comics way back in the 60s. Done a little of this, a little of that. I did the Creepshow comic for the movie. And on, and now I'm designing creatures for movies.
And Bernie is far too humble here. He's also co-creator of Swamp Thing, one of our favorite monsters. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes. One of my favorite characters.
Of course, and mine too. And then also you have a long and varied career doing horror comics during the 70s, right?
Right. Worked for Jim Warren, creepy and eerie. I'm just drawing a blank. Yeah.
That's okay. I put you on the spot here, but also you mentioned that you had some Hollywood work and movie work. Now, tell my viewers a little bit about some of the designs. I believe you had a lot to do with Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein, didn't you?
Actually, no. I had nothing to do with Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein.
I tell you, I thought with the look of it that they had pulled straight from your drawings, that wonderful Frankenstein book that you did.
Well, yes, they did.
But you had nothing to do with that. They just stole it.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, the truth comes out here on Chiller Cinema. Well, now tell me a little bit about some of your current Hollywood work, if you would.
Okay. Well, I worked on both Ghostbusters movies way back. And more recently, I designed the monster for The Faculty, which I'm sure your viewers have seen.
Oh, yeah.
I did some work on Galaxy Quest, which was out a couple of years ago. And currently, I'm just finishing up some designs for the new Spider-Man movie.
That's fantastic.
Directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi, one of our favorite Evil Dead directors there.
Absolutely, yeah.
The man is fantastic. I was just watching an interview with him the other day, and I think he's got a really, really brilliant mind for film.
He is terrific, yeah. He's done some of the best comic book movies ever done.
Yeah. I can imagine your art and his directing together would be fantastic.
It's going to be fun.
Well, Mr. Wrightson, I appreciate you spending some time with me here on Chiller Cinema.
It's been my pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're ever in the Nashville, Tennessee area, give me a call, swing by the lab. I'd love to interview you.
I would love to see your lab.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
Chiller.
Hi, that's me, and you're watching Dr. Gangrene on Chiller Cinema.
But he doesn't understand. There's a curse upon me. I change into a wolf.
Listen to me, Frank. I saw my father become obsessed by his power. He died a horrible death.
There's no need for us all to storm after her. She'll come in if I ask her.
Why should we treat her so fancy? She's a Frankenstein.
You're watching Chiller Cinema!
Okay, Fright fans, you're in for a treat now. We're going to take a look at some of the spooky collectibles here in the hotel. This is the dealer's room where I'm standing right now, and you won't believe all the merchandise they've got in here. This is amazing. Take a look at this. All right, we're here with Ron Adams from Creepy Classics Video. How you doing, Ron?
Good to meet you, Doctor.
Well, Ron and I have been corresponding by email a little bit, and it's good to finally meet you.
Yeah, likewise. And I've seen you in Scary Monsters magazine, and you're a hero in my eyes.
Well, that just makes Scary Monster magazine that much scarier, and I appreciate the compliment. So, Ron here has a fantastic collection of horror movies. You're a movie dealer, is that right?
That's right, yeah. And DVDs are really coming on strong now too. Videos, DVDs of classic horror and sci-fi. That's what I do.
Yeah. So, tell me a little bit. I'm sure you get asked all the time. What are a couple of your favorite horror movies?
The Mary Tyler Moore Show. No.
Scary. That is too scary. We're Access here. We can't talk about anything that frightening.
I like all kinds of things. Of course, my favorites are the classic Universals, but I also like things like an old one called Dead of Night. It's a anthology horror ones I like, and old Mexican horror movies from the '60s. I love that stuff, but I really love it all. I mean, there's very little that I don't like. So
Sure.
yeah, horror and sci-fi from the 30s through the 60s. It's just great stuff.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I love especially all the B movies, all the low-budget stuff. A lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Well, I appreciate you spending just a couple of minutes with us here on Chiller Cinema.
And I appreciate being here, and watch the Gangrene, okay?
Oh, well, I will. It sets in, you lose a limb or two, but we sew them back on. Good as new.
All right.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here before in my dream. For some reason, I was given foreknowledge of the future. Why? I don't know. I want to know. I must know.
Here. Hey, will you get out of here, or do I have to throw you out?
Dirty, thieving swine. Here is a story with all the fascination of your most exciting, most dramatic dreams. Or should it be nightmares? For you will have to ask yourself these questions. Can man foresee the future and, knowing it, live? Can the horror of the past reach through time and turn a man into a murdering beast?
Wrap this up now. This is Dr. Gangrene here at Wonderfest. I appreciate all of you joining me this week. Next week we'll be back in the lab for all our usual horror, so we'll see you back there. Until next time, this is Dr. Gangrene from Wonderfest saying, stay mad.
It's refreshment time, and our refreshment stand is loaded with good things to eat. There's crispy, crunchy popcorn, and hot, delicious buttered popcorn, lots of candy, and frosty, refreshing cold drinks. Why not treat yourself at the refreshment center now?
In our ongoing series of interviews with other horror hosts, I have pulled aside a real legend of the horror host kingdom, and that is Dr. Creep. How are you, Doc?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about you? Is this the third motion picture, fourth or fifth? I don't know which.
We're here at the Ghastly's all-night movie marathon here in Dayton, Ohio, and I've lost track myself. What did we just watch? Something
about witchcraft.
Yes, I think Witchcraft Through the Ages and Ghastly's wonderful band, Rat Sass. You have to be careful how you say that. Rat Sass, 2 words. Just played live musical accompaniment, and you guys missed it. So, anyway, you have to be at the next one. So there. I'll tell you guys when it is. So anyway, keep tuned. Dr. Creep, it's good to see you. Good to meet you.
It's good to see you too. I read about you in that monster magazine.
Oh, why, shucks, you make me embarrassed.
Monsters.
Scary Monsters. That was actually the scariest issue of Scary Monsters that they've ever had.
Oh, yes, definitely. I've been in it about 3 times.
Well, that's because you are famous. You've been doing this since 1972, I believe I heard you say.
Yes, January 1st. Everybody was hungover. It was 11 o'clock at night, and I figured we'd go for it.
And you rung in the new year well. So you got this start because of, well, tell my family a little bit about your family, if you would.
Teens out there. Yes, well, actually, my family goes way back in history. One side of the family persecuted the other side because one side of the family was in the occult and into monsters and all kinds of strange things. And then the other side of the family were judges, and they burned them at the stake.
It's kind of a regular Hatfields and McCoys type thing, if you will.
Yeah, but my uncle actually started a lot of the monsterdom around the area. He was known as Dr. Trabo. That's Hobart spelled backwards. And it was called Dr. Trabo and his House of Horrors. And in the 50s, he traveled around in a lot of theaters regionally and put on a horror movie late at night, at midnight.
Kind of a spook show type thing, right?
Definite spook show type, yeah. There's a movie out there that he did that he wants all copies destroyed. So if you have that copy, please destroy it. It's called The Professor.
Do you have a copy?
Yes, I do. And his buddy Tom has the original.
And you're not going to destroy your copy, though, are you?
No, I'm not. No.
Of course not. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing nowadays.
Nowadays, we're on cable access in this area. We go into about 12, 13 cities. We're on actually Sunday night at 10 o'clock. That's kind of strange for a horror show, being on at that particular time on channels 23 and channels 20. And we've been doing it for a year and a half, 2 years. About 2 weeks ago, we had a live show. And that was a lot of fun with people calling in, and all my wrestling buddies out there, because I also do a little bit of wrestling from time to time as Dr. Creep. I've got the Creeper Sleeper, and you put them to sleep, you know. But
so, no, wait a minute. Is that your show or no? Just kidding.
Well, some of the dogs we've had, I think we put a few people to sleep. Have you had a few dogs on your show?
Oh yeah, we've had a few, more than a few actually. But anyway, thanks for the interview. I appreciate it.
Maybe you can come on my show sometime.
Well, I'd love to. You just tell me next time you're doing one of your live shows or whatever, and we'll come down there.
We've got a lot of things going on. We're going to have an all-night horror movie here at the Neon the last weekend in October. You're welcome to come up and be with us. We usually don't get out of here at about 9 o'clock in the morning. And then on October the 12th, I'm going to be working with some belly dancers. Kira and Little Egypt, they're fantastic. They were on my show.
Now, are you going to be belly dancing at this event?
I no longer have a belly. No, or a belly button. But they said I could still learn. And Little Egypt and Kira are going to be dancing in Halloween costumes. It's called Belly Boo on October the 12th. You're welcome to come to that, too.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. I want you to tell my viewers about the CD that you did for charity also.
Okay. It's called The Amazing Sounds of Shock Theater. And a couple bands put it together, and it's for my foundation. I have a foundation called Project Smiles, and usually around about Christmas time we take care of about 45 to 60,000 kids in about 9 counties, and the proceeds from the CD go to that.
That's great. Here's the copy right here. Thank you, Curtis. And as you see, Dr. Creep's wonderful image here on the cover.
The Amazing Sounds of Shock Theater, starring Dr. Creep.
All right. So where can they find that, by the way?
Oh, they can find it at all the video and music stores around the area. And probably you can, actually I have a website.
Well,
it's called www.drcreep.com, so they can get a lot of that information on my website.
Well, that's great. Since this is charity now, I can promote this on this cable access because I'm not, this is all for charity. So, really, you guys go get your copy. So anyway, thanks. Hey, thanks a bunch. Here you go, Curtis. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay. We'll see you guys back in the lab.
These are our product testers. As you can see, watching this videotape may be hazardous to your health. You'll die laughing.